Today I'm giving you my 3-month review of the Pixel 8 Pro. About 100 days I've been using this as my daily driver, and for the most part I've been really happy with it. There's a couple things that I think Google needs to step up their game with, but all in all I think it's a really nice choice if you're in the market for a new phone. So let's get into the Pixel 8 Pro 3 months later. I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about Google's new device. Let's start with the good of the Pixel 8 Pro, and finally Google has stepped up their game and they've finally given us a flagship feeling device. This is the first Pixel that actually feels like a premium device in your hand. From the aluminum rails to the flat panel on the front, everything just feels like it's a premium handset. And if you've owned the 6 Pro, or if you've owned the 7 Pro, or if you even checked them out in the store, you know they felt a little bit cheesy. And that's the first thing that I noticed, and it's still one of the things that impresses me every time I pick up this phone, raw dog. Now, I'm all about cases, so I always put a case on my phone, but this time around, I did not put a screen protector, and I'm actually pretty shocked. So let's see what the screen is going to look like after about 3 months of daily usage. Now, if we wipe it down, I actually do see that there's a couple tiny little small nicks. Let's see if I can get that on camera for you. You can see there's a small little nick right about there. There's another little one on the other side of the screen. But overall, I think Google's Victus 2 covering on the Pixel 8 Pro does a nice job of hiding scratches. So if you don't like screen protectors or you just want to try something a little bit different, you're going to be really happy with the screen quality when it comes to scratch resistance. A flat panel is just better to hold, it's better to look at, and it's also better for screen protectors if you want to go that route. But the screen itself is a 6.7-inch panel. It's an LTPO panel that drops down to 1 Hz to save battery and goes all the way up to 120 when it needs to. And when you're out and about and you want to watch some videos, or you want to reply to a text message, or you want to troll the web, you do get a max peak brightness of 2400 nits, so definitely really bright. And that's another area where previous Pixels kind of struggled, was in bright settings. I don't know why it took me a while to say that, but that's 100% for sure. So the panel's really nice, guys. It's very vibrant. It's very nice to look at. It's very pleasurable and gets bright enough when you're out in that sunlight. Let's get some more specs out of the way before we go ahead and talk about some other things. And there'll be some timestamps down at the bottom. So if you want to switch to a specific section, you can go ahead and do that. And while you're down there, definitely like this video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this, and share it if you liked it, share it if you found something funny. But let's get back to some of the specs that you might want to know when it comes to the Pixel 8 Pro here. A couple things that I always look for when I buy a new device is how good is the screen, how good is the battery, how's connectivity, and then I like to see how everything else stacks up. That's just how I buy phones. So screen is definitely on point. I think they did a really nice job with the screen. I think they did an awesome job with the OS, which I'll get into in just a little bit as well. But when it comes to battery life, finally after a couple updates from Google, this is getting me into the next day. When it was first released, it was a one-day only type of phone. I kind of struggled to get through the end of the day if I was more on the heavier side of things. But now that's changed with a couple updates, and even on my heavier days, again, your usage might vary, but I'm still making it to the end of the day, if not a little bit into the next morning. Enabling adaptive battery is also going to let your phone learn how you use it, and it's actually going to adapt the battery towards your usage. This generally takes a couple months to kick in and really fine-tune that battery to your way that you use your device. But that didn't happen on previous generations, so I'm happy to see whatever the magic Google has done on the inside is definitely working here. And there is a lot of AI magic that I'm going to get into as well, but battery life with that 5000 milliamp hour is definitely on point. And charging is somewhere where I think Google needs to improve just a little bit. At 30 watts charging, it's not the slowest, but it's not the fastest either. And as someone who really likes to charge wirelessly, this is painfully slow to charge. If you get Google's Pixel Stand, which is about an $80 upcharge, it's going to boost up the wireless charging to 23 watts on the Pro model. But if you use a regular Qi charger, it drops all the way down to a max of 12. And I don't even think it's reaching 12, guys. I mean, this thing can take 3 hours, 4 hours to fully charge on a wireless charger. That's just a little bit too slow these days, especially when the newly released OnePlus 12 is coming with, I believe it's 50-watt wireless charging and 80-watt wired charging here in the US. But Google definitely needs to step up their game when it comes to charging. If you use the 30-watt adapter, which is also an upcharge, it'll 50% charge in about 30 minutes. But then that other 50% charge is trickle charged, and that takes a little bit more time than an additional 30 minutes there, guys. So it takes well over an hour to charge this bad boy from 0 to 100. But let's get into some of the other things about this phone. Now, number one is software. I think Google does a really nice job with software. It's a clean experience, and if you like the bare minimum, if you like to tweak a couple things here and there, and you like a couple little fun things that Google does, and you can see here with the lock screens, you get some pretty cool lock screens there, and you can actually have some fun lock screens as well. You can change things up. You can actually have some AI generated wallpapers as well. So let me just show you how that's going to work, because I think that's actually pretty cool. And again, a cell phone is for productivity for most people, and I do use my cell phone for productivity, but at the end of the day, the enjoyment level has to be there. I have to really want to use this phone. I have to want to pick it up more than any other device out there, and Google is on the way to that, and Google definitely is making this a little bit more fun, a little bit more playful. So let's go into AI wallpaper really quickly. And here we go. You can see you can change the wallpaper based on AI. So let's do a surreal, maybe lighthouse. No, let's go to castle. Let's do a surreal castle made of. And you see you have the choices here, which have definitely expanded from the initial release of this. So let's see, it's going to be made of, stone is too easy, right? Let's go ahead and say a castle made of wool in shades of, I'm going to do yellow and teal, create wallpaper. And every time you do this, you're going to get something completely different, and usually it's really cool. So here's fingers crossed that this is going to be a cool wallpaper. So that actually looks pretty interesting, guys. So let me just change it from wool, and let's go traditional, why not? Let's go to stone, and let's change that color to a burgundy and maroon. Create wallpaper, and see what this is going to look like. Now again, it's just fun. It's just something that's going to, I don't know, it could be a little bit of a time waster, but I think that definitely looks really awesome. I'm going to give that a thumbs up, just like you guys should with this video. I think it's a pretty good video if you ask me. So pretty much you can have some fun, and there's also another option, Emoji Workshop. And again, I think this is pretty cool. I'm going to go to clouds. I'm going to go to maybe an angel, 100% fire, and then you have all these other emojis here. You can see Google made a wallpaper based on emojis here. So it's just fun, guys. Again, you have regular wallpapers that you can choose from. So whatever type of wallpapers you guys are into, I know everyone asks me about wallpapers. Anytime I post a cool wallpaper, people really want to know where I got it. But now with the AI, you can create your own cool wallpapers whenever you want to. And here's clock styles. So again, Google's making it fun. I like to see a little bit of fun on my phone once again. But let's go back to the OS, because you can see that it's pretty clean, it's easily laid out, and that's the name of the game when it comes to the Pixel line. I hate to say it, but it's kind of like the Apple device. It just works. It just kind of does what it needs to do, and Google is really good at giving us a basic phone, and it's going to be a pleasurable experience if you just want to get things done. Now, why do I say it like that? It's because I've always blamed Samsung for throwing everything in but the kitchen sink. But I've come to realize that it's only a gimmick if you don't use it. Maybe there's a lot of people out there that use certain features. Like I always like to see USB-C video out, and for some reason Google has not enabled that on the Pixel 8 Pro. When I'm traveling and I'm at that hotel or I'm at a friend's house and I'm trying to watch something and they don't have the service that I have, or I'm at the hotel and I don't want to pay for their movies, I connect a USB-C to HDMI cable, and I can plug my phone directly into a TV, directly into some sort of monitor, and watch what I want to watch. And that's a feature that I use on the regular, and that's a feature that I miss on the Pixel 8 Pro. Now rumors have it they are going to release it during some sort of Pixel drop. So yes, this phone does get improved over time, and most phones do not get improved over time. Let's be real, you buy it, you wait for a major OS, and you hope that something is going to change. Google's pretty cool about giving us some sort of Pixel drops and increasing the functionality as time goes by. So that's another reason that I like Pixel phones. But back to the fact that everything but the kitchen sink is not in this device. It's only a gimmick if you don't use it. Like the thermometer sensor on the back. Let me just show you this thermometer sensor. Because I think this is a gimmick, I'm never going to use it, and until someone mentioned it on Twitter, I even forgot it was here. And I'm definitely hoping this is out on the Pixel 9 Pro. According to the leaks, it kind of looks like it's in there. So to me, this is an absolute gimmick. So matter of fact, I happen to have some coffee right here that I'm drinking as I do this video. So let's go ahead and change this, and it's going to be a beverage or water. Tap to measure. Now it says it's about 97. It's about 100 degrees, 2 inches from the subject. So it's staying about that 100-degree mark. Let me do a little sip. I don't know, my coffee seems kind of lukewarm, so I don't know if that's 100 degrees. Matter of fact, since we're fun, this was just released, I believe, last week, the body temperature. So let me go ahead and see. See, I've never even used this, guys. Let me go through the settings. Very nice. We're doing this together, so let's go ahead. I don't know why I can't skip through these settings here. I mean, already to me this looks dumb, I'm not gonna lie. But hey, you guys let me know down in the comments if this is something you use or you plan on using. I mean,
scan to temple.
Just take a look at that. I don't know. This is hysterical. Again, I'm doing this for the first time, as you can see. Let me select my age range. Yes, I'm 3+ years. That's actually pretty interesting there. Okay.
Bring center of camera bar closer to forehead. Bring center of camera bar closer to forehead.
All right, it's not really working. Again, I'm not too worried about this. I'm never going to use this feature. This is definitely a gimmick to me because I'm not using it, but maybe to you guys it's not. But overall, I think Google did a nice job with their software. Again, it's very easy. If you're coming from any other type of device, it's very easy to look what you need to find out. The last specs that I want to talk about, of course, is what's inside the Pixel 8 Pro here, and that's the Tensor G3 processor. And I'm sure you've heard by now it's not really the fastest processor out there. There's no bragging rights to having the G3, but it does a decent job and it's going to get everything done that you want to get done. Now, I'm not a real gamer on this phone. I actually haven't gamed in many years, but it will play your basic shooter. It will play basically all the games out there without any issue, but it's not going to be pushing the boundaries of what it can do. It's not really that type of processor. It's just a processor that's going to get it done. And 12 gigabytes of RAM inside here make it a very usable, very pleasurable experience in my opinion. And 7 years of updates are promised on the Pixel 8 Pro here. Is this going to be able to handle what's out there in 7 years? I'm going to just put myself on the line and say no, it won't. I don't think this processor is going to age very well. That's just my opinion. We'll find out in 7 years. I'm not going to have this phone in 7 years. I'm sure someone's going to do a review on it. But I don't see this G3 actually doing more than about 3 years of work. If all the other Pixels have given me stats to go on, the Pixel 6 Pro became super sluggish. The 7 Pro is really no stallion either at this point. So we'll see how the G3 stacks up in about a couple years or so. Again, that's not going to be a video that I'm going to do, but I'm just going to go out there and say this phone is not going to last 7 years. Now that's really all the specs. I know this is going to be a long video, but it is what it is, guys. I want to give you my usage on using the Pixel 8 Pro here. Now let's talk about the good things, because there's a lot of good things and there's a lot of AI that you guys probably want to know about. There's a lot of Pixel perks to the Pixel lineup that I'm really a fan of. And the number one thing that I really like is when it comes to phone calls, guys, Google is the best in the business when it comes to the call screen options. You just can't beat it. It's going to get rid of those robocalls for you. It's going to get rid of any unknown caller. It's basically going to send them to your Google Assistant, who's going to ask them, hey, why are you calling? What's up? What's the deal? And then you can choose to accept or ignore that phone call. So I think the call screen is a really awesome option. Hold for me has saved me a bunch of times. If you call a phone number that it recognizes as some sort of commercial establishment, it actually is going to hold the line. So you don't have to wait on hold for customer service for like about an hour or so. I know when I was calling up T-Mobile, it took them about an hour and a half to get to my phone call. So I just used hold for me, and my Pixel told me, hey, someone's on the line, now's the time to pick up. So it just makes you more productive, and this is an awesome, awesome feature. Another good option is Direct My Call, which is basically going to give you faster menu items for known establishments once again. So it's going to let you know what the automated menu is. So if you call, for example, let's go back to T-Mobile, 1 for customer care, 2 for tech support, 3 for whatever. It's actually going to list them for you, so you can easily just press it without having to listen to all those voice prompts. So again, really awesome features in the Pixel lineup here. And another awesome feature that I really like is the Now Playing that's going to show up at the bottom of the screen there. But she listens to Takashi. Bitch, you lost me. Yeah, fair weather, wishy-washy. Subconscious, yeah, I'm afraid to unlock it. Now Playing is a great option, and you can go back into your history and see exactly what you listened to when you were out and about. I think that's an awesome feature. It's a lot better than holding your phone up with Shazam when you're out and you hear a song that you like. So Now Playing is something that I really miss when I switch devices. So Google definitely has a lot of nice Pixel perks in here that I like to call them. And the AI doesn't stop with just that. You can also summarize web pages by using your Google Assistant. So let me just pull up a web page here to show you. Let's go to 9 to 5 Google. And if you bring up a bunch of text on a page, hold down on the power button, and you have a couple options down here, so you can have it read aloud the entire page, you can search the screen, you can translate, or it can just summarize for you. So it's going to summarize what's on your screen. So there it is. You can see it's summarized with bullet points, about 3 bullet points what's on the screen. This is articles about AT&T's new feature. Features powered by TransUnion, TransContract, blah, blah, blah. So again, if you don't want to read, you can have Google Assistant summarize it for you, or it can read it aloud for you as well.
Android phones on AT&T will now show brand logos on incoming calls. AT&T is launching...
So pretty cool features. Again, for those of you that are maybe working, you don't have time to read the entire page, you want this to read it to you, this is going to be a nice option for you. Most of Google's AI, though, is kind of centered around the camera. Now, we all know the Pixels take some really good shots. I think the Pixel phones do really good, but I do notice that with the iPhone 15 Pro Max and some other phones that I was testing, the line is getting thinner and thinner, and the line is definitely getting a lot smaller, so Google really needs to do some things to keep their lead, because I think at sometimes the iPhone took better photos, sometimes the Samsung took better photos, and of course sometimes, most times, the Pixel took more eye-pleasing photos, but the gap definitely is shortening, so Google definitely needs to step up that algorithm and keep maintaining that lead that they have. There's a couple more AI tweaks in this phone, but I just want to go over some that I actually really like. And of course the cameras, where Google definitely shines when it comes to their photo trickery, if you will. So let's go into some of these AI tricks from Google. Now again, I think the shots are really awesome. If you take a look at these shots here, you get some very clean, very, very nice shots. Super real to life, if you ask me. Very, very detailed, even when you zoom in. So you can see here the graffiti, the street art that I took. This was in Safi, Morocco. And if we take a look here, you can see the sun right in the back. And you can also pick a better shot. And that's another thing that you have. Google is allowing you to pick a better shot. Now for this one, with the little motorbike, I think they got it wrong. But you can see here they're going to kind of use AI to figure out which is the best shot. And maybe for the wall, that was a better shot, guys. But again, it all comes down to what you like. Now, when it comes to AI, you do have some generative filling and you do have some tricks. Like I made this guy about 100 feet tall. I just want to let you guys know that if you want to use some of these AI features, you do have to upload your photo or video to the cloud in order for Google to do its thing. That means you might have to buy some extra storage. So that's one thing I did not know about that wasn't really clear when they released this phone with the keynote. I didn't know I'd have to throw everything up into the cloud, but I just want to let you guys know that you do have to send some of these photos and videos if you want that video night shot to go up into the cloud and really clean things up and brighten things up. So you might have to purchase some extra storage. But here it is. You can see I made this dude really tall. Here he is in normal size. One of the coolest features that I like is the ability to remove people or things from a shot. So right now it's found some suggestions. So I can move that guy. Let's go ahead and click Move All. And now you can see I have a really nice shot, except there it kind of missed it just a little bit. Again, it takes some tweaking, it takes some doing to get everything right that you want to get right. But for the most part, this is a nice feature. And now, for example, if I just want to remove one person, if I click on Edit, I can go into Tools, click on Magic Eraser, and I'm going to just do this manually, so I can just circle the dude right there. And Google is going to do its thing and remove him. Okay, I circled just a little bit too much. Let's just do something like that. But I can remove this dude from my shot. So all I have to do is circle what I want to remove, and it's going to remove it very, very quickly. So let's go ahead and remove these people from my shot here. Just like that. So now you see I get a pretty decent shot of just the fountain. Now again, it's not perfect, but it definitely is a much better job if you go to a lot of touristic places and you want to take a shot of the monument, but there's always someone in the way. This is a nice feature for you guys to use. So that's one of the things that I really like about Google's AI-ness. But now let's go ahead and take a look at some actual shots. And again, I think Google does a really nice job of giving us some pretty awesome looking shots, and that's what I've always liked the Pixel for, is the true-to-life nature of these shots. I mean, just take a look at them. They definitely look breathtaking. And the night mode is really good as well. Night mode does a really nice job of getting light where there is no light and really maintaining the subject, really maintaining the picture quality. And taking a look at video night shots, you can again send your videos to the cloud. Google's going to do its magic and let you know when it's ready. It could take about an hour. It actually took about an hour for this short shot here, but it did brighten up the scene and did make my video a lot better. So Google, you're doing a good job. I hope you maintain this lead because there's a lot of manufacturers out there gunning for you. There's a lot of manufacturers trying to close that gap. But as of right now, the Pixel 8 Pro does an awesome job, and this is a camera that I would recommend to anybody in any situation. Another place that Google is doing an awesome job is removing noise from your videos. So let's give you a sample, and we're going to do this in real time to let you guys hear the difference. Where's the best place to test out Google's noise cancellation feature? That's going to be on top of a roof with a lot of fans from a lot of businesses. So this is the sound quality without any noise filters enabled. And there's the fan doing its thing. So now let's go ahead and add the filters and see the change. So all you have to do is go into Edit, and then you can go into Audio, and you can see the audio eraser. And once Google kind of analyzes your video, it's going to let you know what type of noise it thinks you want to remove. So let's get rid of noise here and boost that up to 100. Where's the best place to test out Google's noise cancellation feature? That's going to be on top of a roof with a lot of fans from a lot of businesses. So this is the sound quality without any noise filters enabled. And there's the fan doing its thing. So now let's go ahead and add the filters and see the change. So here we are. No better place to test Google's wind reduction than right by the beach in a windy location. So here we are, right by the cliff. The selfie camera on the iPhone 15 Pro. Take a look. Let's listen. A little bit of wind behind me. But that's all good. This view is amazing. Morocco. Yalla habibi. So dramatic decrease in the noise. So definitely a nice job. This again is something that I actually have used on quite a number of videos. So let's talk about a couple things that I don't like about the Pixel 8 Pro, and there's honestly not all that many, and I've covered a couple already in the beginning of this video. Number one is video out. I would like to see video out enabled, and hopefully that does come later on with the Pixel drop. That's just a feature on every flagship these days. Even the iPhone has it. So Google definitely needs to enable that. I also think that Face Unlock, and this is not just a Google thing, it's an Android thing for some reason. The Face Unlock on the Pixel 8 Pro is absolutely garbage. Unless you have the right light, it is not going to unlock. So let's go ahead and see. It unlocked, but obviously I have a lot of lights in the office here. And that's the thing, you'd need a lot of light in order for this to work. It will not work in darkness. I was in the car driving, wasn't really super bright, it didn't work. And I don't know why the Android manufacturers don't include some more secure Face Unlock like what's on the iPhone. Here's my Honor Magic, and this has an actual 3D scanning just like the iPhone. And you can see that little pill cut out at the top. I guess people really aren't asking manufacturers for it. I think it's time for Android devices to have a more secure Face Unlock. And this will work, thankfully, with some of your banking apps. They do have to be enabled in all of your apps, but thankfully it is secure enough so you can unlock your Chase app using your face. You can pay with Google Wallet using your face, so they are getting there. I just would like to see it work better, work at night, work in any lighting condition. So that's something I don't like, is Face Unlock. The fingerprint scanner is actually pretty good. So there's really no issue with the under-display fingerprint scanner. For the most part, it works just about 95% of the time. Now, another thing that I don't like about this phone at the moment, but thankfully there are a lot of deals to be had, and that's the price. If we take a look at the price right now, I have the 256, so it's $1,100 and it starts at $999. I think there's a lot of competition in that price range at the moment. The Galaxy S24 is about $1,300, so for $200 more, I would argue with the S24, you're getting a much better screen, you're getting a much better build quality. The cameras, from what I've seen, are not as good, but we'll see how that goes in a little bit later on in that phone's life cycle. But Samsung is just known for really awesome hardware. And the Snapdragon Gen 3 is no slouch, so you're getting a much better processor. But I think this needs to drop another couple $100 in order for this to be a real hit, a real winner. So the price right now, unless you found it on a deal, unless you found some sort of carrier deal or incentive, for the extra $200, I personally would go Samsung. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments below. $800 is where the OnePlus is sticking. And at $800, I think the OnePlus is offering a pretty good sweet deal in my opinion. Again, that's coming in a couple of weeks. I'm going to do a little bit of a comparison. But putting price aside, this is an excellent phone. There's a lot of features in here, a lot of Google goodness is in here, a lot of Pixel perks are in here, and it's going to be a phone that you can enjoy for quite some time. Again, probably not 7 years, but definitely 2 to 3 years, 100% for sure. And then of course, I don't really like the slow charging when it comes to the Pixel line on the wireless charging pads, 12 watt, and quite honestly, it's more like 8.5 if you ask me. It's just a little bit too slow. But other than that, guys, I don't really have all that much to complain about. I think this is a really awesome phone. The design is something unique, and I've seen a ton of these Pixel devices here in New York City. This camera bar is awesome. It actually acts as a resting place for your finger when you pick up your phone. So I like the design, I like the build quality, I like just about everything about this phone. If you have any questions or you own this phone, let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. But it's a great phone. Again, it's just in 2024, it's going to have some steep competition. And unless that price drops just a little bit more, I don't know if this is worth your money. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you in another video.